Hey guys, so today's shave, we've got WTX from Hub City Soap Company. I didn't know if it's Soap Works or Soap Company, so it's Hub City Soap Company. I've got pages from them that I really enjoy. I've tried a few of their other samples, and this is one that I bought that I can't remember if I've tried or not. It's kind of a masculine cologne cowboy type scent, not utterly rustic, but maybe with some cologne nature to it. That'll be fun to try. I'm going to be using Michael Freedberg's Loner, and this is the stainless steel supply injector version 1, or maybe the one that they released for evaluation slightly before they actually released the real number 1. It has a Chinese Schick blade in it, those yellow packages that you can get on Amazon or eBay these days. The brush is going to be Paladin. Now this guy is a Cleo handle with the kind of ebony graphite makeup material, and it promises to be a friendlier splay than the other one I was using recently. I used the Colorado, the Indigo PK47 Colorado, which had wonderful soft tips, but the core backbone was too much. I think I'm gonna have to sell that one. I used to have a PK47 years ago, but I thought the handle was too short, so I sold it. But in actuality, I think that backbone and those tips that I had back then were perfect for me, and so I should have just dealt with the small handle if I wanted to have a Paladin in my collection. So I was trying out the Cleo handle. I know I've used it before a few times on my channel, and so it's not the greatest, but I think it's pretty good. And I think I've had this guy soaking for a while. These tips aren't treated so much that they get jelly. They just, but they have a nice flexible nature to them. Their flex, the backbone there is not going to be too much. So I think I'm going to enjoy the shave. Now what I may remember from this knot, I got it wet there just to kind of show you, is that the tips, I get this kind of a wiry, ropey feel perhaps, because the tips don't have any softening agent on them. They don't have any gel on there. And so what happens is they kind of, with the lack of backbone, this is what happens sometimes if you get too less backbone, kind of, everything bends over, and so you end up feeling the side of the bristles. Is kind of what it feels like to me. All right, so as usual with a sample, we are going to use a 1/4 teaspoon, and just to try to make sure that I get enough of the scent, I'm probably using too much product here. So I'm not going to be hesitant when I add the water. It's probably going to require a good bit, but I thought this would help me with making sure that I get plenty of scent in my nose. Give this one a good impression so that I can kind of grasp the whole scent instead of lately the samples that I've been kind of playing with have just not had a lot of scent in them. Yeah, and see, that's coming up to me nicely, so that's good. I sure did enjoy pages. I need to use that again. So Hub City has some pre-blends, but then also some that he's done himself in terms of the fragrance oils, you know. So that's cool. Yeah, that's really pleasant. Yeah, cologne-y type smell. I'm not really picking up too much like leather and wood, you know, campfire, anything like that. It's just kind of a nice cologne-y kind of smell. We'll give it a shot. Get my face wet. I'm getting so out of my routine that this is almost a 3-day shave, 3-day growth here on my face. So I thought that might be a great time to try. And this is the medium plate. I'm not even switching up to the more aggressive plate. I'm going to stick with the medium because recently I got this wonderful shave with the medium. It had An easy glide through the stubble, wonderful comfort throughout the entire shave, and a nice close result. Wonderful combination all the way around. So let's see if he can deliver the same thing on 3 days of growth. That'll be fun. Okay, so we'll try the Cleo out. I was attracted to the Cleo, and I shake most of the water out. I was attracted to it because of the handle. You don't see a lot of these come up on the used market, and that's where I got it, was used. I looked up the knot. It didn't seem like it was mentioning anything about heavy-duty backbone in the knot, which of course that would be good with this one. It does not have that. And so I thought, hey, let's give it a shot. And so in the end, if the brush continues to feel kind of wiry, I'll probably end up selling it and trying to find another Paladin to be in my collection. Tilt you down to the lather thing here. So, of the Hub City that I've used, been very happy with the consistency of the lather, being able to put a lot of water into it and have it still be in a creamy experience that gives you kind of the feel of luxury. I've been happy with that. I tried the Chief handle with the Paladin, and it's more that a handle almost like this kind, traditional look. It does have more of a bulbous bottom, but the little valley where, like, see this valley, I'm able to tuck my middle finger in right there. That valley was very small, and so my fingers weren't able to really use it to its good advantage, and so that didn't turn out to be a handle that worked very well for my fingers. Yeah, I'm pleased to see the strength here of the scent is coming up to meet me. I'm glad about that. So I was working and I thought, you know what? As I'm kind of getting a little antsy here at my desk, maybe I should take a break. How about I just go shave? Normally I like to finish work, but my current ergonomic setup, my back kind of starts to get a little sore and stuff, other things, and I thought, you know what? This might serve a couple of good purposes. Give me a chance to kind of refresh my ergonomics and stretch my legs because I'm standing up. Well, duh, of course most people shave standing up, right? But give me a chance to move around, and then maybe my work time when I go back after the shave will be more profitable. It's looking nice. Haven't put too much water into it. So this knot coat is definitely going to be one that probably talks about not very much gel action on the tips, easy splay. The bristles probably not being very fine with this one. We have a hydrated lather, very wet there, and I think that this is not going to be too wet, but we'll try it out and see. Sometimes in my effort to do what I do take it too far, get a little too wet. All right, so 3 days of growth. Let's see what happens, right? get wet one more time. All right. Let's see how Cleo feels. You know, sometimes you have to order a couple of brushes at a time to try something out. Because you have one, brush A, you kind of like it okay, but you don't know how it's going to be. You don't know if it's, you don't really want to just sell it and buy brush B, because what if the knot code or the different hair type is different? I mean, with my B13 brushes, I discovered I wanted to try that knot out, and I end up having 3 of those brushes, and they all kind of have different attributes. They're all different sizes. Not only can within the same batch there be a little fluctuation, and that applies with these Paladin brushes too, not just declaration. There can be fluctuation between the batch, but then the way they're lofted and what size they are affects the density and the way it feels. And so I discovered that I liked my 26 nicely. I liked it well, but the handle just wasn't quite right. Then I got that 28. And wow, that's been that wonderful brush. That's that dogwood briar hybrid brush that I've been using for several shaves now. And look at that. Lather is just terrific. Very hydrated. It is a little bit of a nuisance. You can see it's kind of falling around, but it's just perfectly hydrated and creamy and all that stuff. And then the 24 millimeter B13 that I got. See, because I actually got the 26 first. And then I thought, I wonder if I'll get a less backbone with the 24 because it's got a smaller diameter. Well, it just was different. It seems like it laid over more. And then the 28 turned out to be the perfect easy splay, those wonderful soft tips, but it kept the tips at me instead of laying over. And so it was a great time. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's terrific. So plenty of lather. Yeah, that's an enjoyable, I mean, it's nothing super creative in terms of the cologne kind of genre, but it's very enjoyable. Definitely like it. All right. 3 days of growth. Let's shave it off with a medium aggressive. And in terms of the feel of this razor, when I'm doing normal shaves, it is very comfortable. It's not harsh. It's not aggressive at all. And I usually have actually pretty good luck in using mild razors with long growth. Maybe the lathers that I use help that. Maybe my technique, maybe a combination of both. We'll definitely start off with the grain. I'm just curious if it's gonna just, oh yeah, it's just moving through that stubble. Wow. I mean, there's no tugging. It is just slipping through that stubble like nothing. Like it's 1 day of growth. That is impressive. Another great thing about really wet lathers is that they don't clog up in your razor like thicker, pastier lathers do. It's very easy to rinse your razor. Wow. This thing just, you would not know the difference. I mean, you would just by, I mean, because our human face sensors are so attuned. I can tell that it's longer than normal. but seriously, it is just, it moved through those hairs like they just weren't there. What a wonderful experience. Just so sharp, but so controlled. And when I say controlled, I mean hard and smooth and moving across, cutting while not cutting your skin, you know, slaying the hairs, but not your skin, not roughing up your skin with irritation or anything like that. Very nice. Get some water. All right, Cleo, let's try you again. The handle shape is sometimes nice for a short handle, and I don't really know if Paladin has any other handles that I might like. There's this one, the Neptune handle, that I've never tried. I think it's kind of like the Cleo, but just with variations. So I did not. Some people would say this wet lather's too wet, you know, and for me, maybe, but honestly, I might just consider it perfect. It was dripping a little bit, as you saw off the brush, but it's wonderfully hydrated. I need to cut my hair. I'm in dire need of a haircut. Got online and signed up to go get my third COVID shot, COVID vaccine, the booster. I encourage everybody to get vaccinated. I'm really happy to report that one of you guys heard me talk about the vaccine and last year and went and got vaccinated. That's really cool. I am just happy about that. I had a friend die in around August of last year of COVID. He was not vaccinated. And it's just, I understand about kind of not trusting the government sometimes, not wanting them to do things to your own body and all that. I understand that, but this is pretty serious. A lot of people are dying, relatively speaking. And that's not even including the whole Omicron thing, which is all starting up now. All right, rinse. That one, of course, if the first pass was comfy with so much growth on it, this one was just a breeze. Didn't even feel any hair getting cut. Obviously, no pulling. Wonderful comfort and slick. Nice glide with the razor. The rinses are just a luxurious, creamy thing. Since I have a basin here, I'm not splashing always fresh water on my face, and it's almost like the creaminess and the slickness is just kind of reapplying on my face. It's all just an exceptional experience here. I did dab my face a little bit so that I wouldn't have any standing moisture on there, since this lather is, you know, I mean, slightly on the wetter side of perfect for me. Now this knot, comfortable, easy splay, and the tips are pretty nice. I don't know. I think what I was talking about earlier was, yeah, sometimes you have to keep multiple brushes until you figure out comparatively which one you like best, and then sell the ones instead of buying one, trying it, and then selling it, because then maybe you get the other one and you realize, wait a minute, that first one I had was actually perfect. That's what I was trying to get around to earlier. All right. Wonderful, wonderful lather here. And the medium plate here is taking care of business comfortably and effectively. Efficiently, too. That Chinese Schick has been used, I don't know, 3 or 4 times now, maybe more. And it's just cutting like it was brand new. Did another treatment on my Smoke Owners Club today. That kind of hair dryer treatment that I've been talking about. And I believe I can tell the difference just in the appearance. I think I can see a lot more split tips. I think this is maybe the 5th treatment. I've got a log going. I want it to look very different before I try it again because I want the difference, which I'm sure there's going to be one. I just feel pretty confident about that. Not sure, certain, of course, but it's just the way it looks. I think it's just going to be a different brush, and I want to kind of experience that change. I think I'm at about 5 treatments, and I think I might get to 10. What I did was I soaked it for about an hour in water. And I mean, can you see all these little split tips here? Of course, the outside one split first. And so the treatment I'm talking about is soaking it and then blow drying it. Now what I've been doing, soaking it, shake a bunch of the water off kind of as much as you can, then maybe strop it on a towel a few times just to kind of keep it from being utterly soaked in the tips there. Taking the hair dryer, pretend this is a hair dryer, and I tip it slightly because if I do it this way and blow kind of across the top, then this side here is really going to get extra treatment, and it's not what needs extra treatment. The middle stuff is really what needs it. And so I tilt it slightly so that the stream kind of goes into this part of the knot, and then I slowly turn the brush. You know how you wave the hair dryer a little bit just to keep it from making hot spots. I slowly turn the brush like this, and then of course, because it's so damp at first, there's clumps, and every minute maybe I'll kind of do it up and down on my skin like that just to kind of unclump the bristles, and I'll keep going, and then I'll do that. And by doing that, I can feel when the tips are still wet. And then bam, sure enough, it starts out looking really clumpy. But now, I mean, look at that big old, and that's because that light cloudiness appearance is because of so many of those tips. I can look in the middle of the knot and I can see split tips. And I just don't think there were too many before. This one has maybe 60 uses on it, and it still was feeling kind of wiry, and I just wanted to try an accelerator because I've got so many bores that my previous attitude of just use them is going to mean that they take a long time to break in. If you just had 1 or 2 bores, you could just use them and it wouldn't take too long, but I've just got too big of a rotation. So I'm trying out. I have a friend who has had great success. And if any indication is the number of splits that I see, I mean, because if it's a bad split, then I think maybe one part will be weaker and it'll break off. And so, but if you see a bunch of splits, that are 2, 3, 4, 5 tips, then, that's probably a good sign that it's not going to adversely affect the brush as much. I would have rather just used them over time, but like I said, so I'm looking forward to how this is going to feel later when we try it out. All right, I've left this on my face. See, this is not drying off my face. The little soap left over, there's not a drying feeling or anything like that. And you get a really nice, I can just kind of re-energize my face here with this little dollop if I want to, for a nice slick feeling. If I need to do touch-ups, and this would be a great way to do it. Hey, now that I've rinsed my face, I want to just kind of let it rest for a second, see if any dryness happens, just to see. And while I do that, I'm going to tell you about some samples I just received, and we'll be showing these in the upcoming weeks. I've just been so blessed. I was talking with somebody online, and he had a whole big old collection and was wondering if I had any that I was curious about trying. I bought here it is right here, bought a handle from him, guy's name is Cliff, and a wonderful, generous guy. I bought this Florian Cross charcoal goods handle. And not too many of those floating around, not very often. And I do have that everyday brass. That's the bright brass, and my everyday is antique, but it's okay. That bright one will probably, with time, develop its patina. But I've always wanted that Florian Cross, as well as the other one I have is the Anchor. And so that'll fit with any kind of brass razors that I have. And then he said that he had some soaps that I think he was about to put on sale or something. And then I was able to run through and the great, wonderful list. And so here are some. And it was really neat because he happened to have some that I was really curious about trying. I have never tried a soap that I know of from K Shave Works. Now, he was nice and he did it on masking tape, but I wanted to make it more readable for myself. And so I did it on the top side as well. This is High Peaks from K Shave Works. I've just never tried anything from them, so I'm looking forward to that. Moon Soaps is a wonderful base. I have not tried Havana, and was looking forward to that. From the first smell of it, from the dry soap kind of smell, it's not too different than other kind of boozy cigar and booze, kind of scents. But that'll be fun to try. One that I was super curious about because I like the style. It kind of reminds me of the Moon Soaps label style. I like their kind of antique-y, yet slightly cartoonish. Maybe not cartoonish, but if you look at it, you'll know what I mean. Kind of classic, old-timey look to it. Timmerman from Holy Cow. They found Timmerman is an old company, and they found the old recipe for some scents. And at first, this one smells. It's a light smell, but I think it's got kind of an ambery, maybe leather or tobacco kind of cologniness to it. And it looks to be pretty fun to smell while I'm using it. I also got Zingari Traditionalist, but when I asked him about that, I forgot that I had actually put in an order for that one, and so I did use that just a little bit ago. It might be nice to try that one too, because who knows, there could be some scent strength differences. Maybe one's older, one's newer. The previous example I used, the previous sample, was not very strong, and I was not able to kind of absorb enough of the scent to really pick out notes and things like that. Abate La Mantilla Garibaldi is this other one, and I love the base. I have a Botero from them, and here is Garibaldi that I would love to try another one from them. Some of them are just not appetizing, right? There are some that I looked through on Maggard Razor's website, and they just did not look interesting to me at all. Some of the different, almost like moss and lichen and carrots, or those are 3 different soaps or something. And then here's one, a Hazelnut by Barrister and Mann. I have been wanting to smell that for quite a while. Because it's kind of niche-y and gourmand, I never did a blind buy with it. And I'll tell you what, this is the strongest smelling one of the bunch. Oh, that's good. It's really, it smells good enough to eat. It really does. It's really nice hazelnut smell with some other bits added in there. I replied to him that I had gotten the package. Thank you very much. And this is Soft Heart of Hazelnut. And I told him that, at least I tried to use words that indicated that even if this was maybe too gourmand or heavy or thick or sweet to enjoy as a shave, I will have this sitting by my keyboard and pick it up and smell it multiple times a day for fun, because it's a wonderful kind of hazelnut type smell. Just terrific. That'll be fun to try. So those are some samples that will be in upcoming time. Now, here we are. My face has had a chance. Yeah, no drying or anything like that. Just a nice, healthy face. With that base, boy, 12 milliliters of water is about what we use. Not very much at all. So it kind of turns out that I may have used the right amount of soap. I thought I was using way too much. And I definitely enjoy the scent on this one. couple more passes of lather here. A little bit more in the bowl there. I was able to get much of it on the brush. You can just see how kind of wet and pliable it is. Very well hydrated. Yeah, I don't know about this brush. I don't know that it's special enough. These tips were kind of soft a little bit, but I've just got so many other good brushes. I'll probably pass this one along. Maybe keep a lookout for another Paladin that has a different knot code from some of the ones that I've tried. So there we go. Now, what post-shave product? We've used this kind of nice cologne. It's very light on me right now, so the soap is not really staying with me, unless, sometimes you move around the room and you'll be reminded of it. Let's use, just for fun, Diamond from Barrister and Mann. It's their balm. Thank you, COVID, for making them do a balm. Because they wouldn't have otherwise. Barrister would have kept with his alcohol splashes, but alcohol became very expensive last year. Hey, I might use a sterling soap soon. I just got an email today. This week was like the 10th year of Sterling's business. He was in the Army, kind of doing it part-time, and then when he got out of the Army, he was able to devote full-time to the soap business, to all the products that he has with Sterling. Rod and Mandy, wonderful folks, and great for the shaving hobby because he's committed to providing quality soaps and products. Hello. Well, my suction cup failed. Can you? I think you probably guessed that, right? Let me see if I can repair things. It's starting to get old, I guess, or something. That would have been. It's funny. You just never know what's going to happen. Maybe I need to get a normal tripod here instead of a suction cup right there. But Rod and Mandy, they're like he told the story about how everything started out. He told the story about how his mom gave them capital from like his dad's passing or something like that, because she really believed in what they were doing, and then it was a few years later that they were able to be self-sufficient, and now they've taken over in Boonville, Arkansas. This in downtown, they renovated an old building. It looks tremendous. They got a lot of space. But I think what I was saying during the phone wreck just then was that he's just committed to providing good quality products, just exceptional quality products at a good value price. And that is what his soaps are doing. And the balm as well, the splashes, just low prices, but quality items. And I love to support them, so I need to use some Sterling. Matter of fact, just right here I can reach 5 different Sterling products on my shelf. I can actually see another one there. I've got Detonate bar soap, D503 bar soap that I bought when it was on sale. I have Black Cherry. This is the size of Sterling's samples. Mountain Man, which is Creed Silver Mountain Water. Pharaoh's Dreamsicle, which is a wonderful spicy or exotic type scent. And here is the soap sample that they sent out, and this is Cypress. They sent it out with an order, just a free little soap sample. What I like to do with these guys, cut them in half, get the side wet, and glue them together and push them together, and then they'll stay. And it's a lot easier to use to me as it gets old and thin with more uses. So I'll use. Oh, and that's not even counting the balms that I have nearby. I've got Intrepid Man here. There's Agar, Gentleman, Tuscany. Just a wonderful company, and it's great when you can support company with good people. when you can take a company that's giving you good products and you can support them in good faith because you know they're good people that are working hard, and doing great things for our hobby. So thank you, Sterling, for everything that you do. Um, so the WTX was enjoyable to use. How's that diamond smelling? It's not giving me a whole lot. Now I used it sparingly. I probably should have wet my face a little bit more and it would have been easier to apply. Um, and so I probably just didn't use a whole lot. And so that's why I'm not getting a big amount of smell from that. But looking forward to using more of that later on another shave. The Cleo, yeah, maybe not quite there. There are just too many great brushes out there, maybe for this one to stay. The star of the show is the razor, the Supply Injector. Thank you, Michael Freedberg. And this guy, just the medium base plate here, they're interchangeable, just breezed through that stubble. I can, as I've used this razor and some other injectors, I could totally see why there are some people out there who all they do is shave with injectors. I could see why. I can totally see why. This guy's got some weight to him because he's stainless steel, kind of a matte brushed finish, but stainless steel nonetheless, and worth the cost in my book. So terrific. Oh, now some of that caramel is starting to come up from the diamond. Oh, that'll be fun as I go back to work. Some other comparisons I might do in the future here. I've got my two Pearl Flexies. This one's the version 5, here's version 7. And I might do a little comparison before I send my 5 back. See, their customer service was so good that they sent a replacement, and they're not even pestering me with getting the old one back to them. I'm going to ship it back like I told them I would, but I thought it would be great to kind of do a shave with the 5, shave with the 7, shave with the 5, shave with the 7, and see if there's any difference. Put them both on setting 3 or something like that, and just see what any differences might be. That'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, there we go. Terrific shave. Thank you, Sterling. Hey, I feel like Sesame Street. This episode was sponsored by the letter A. This episode was supported by Sterling, and then Michael Freedberg provided the razor for this episode. So there we go. All right, guys. Been a great time. Take care now. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Hope this one helps you somehow. Take care.